we've just boarded one of the largest ferries in the world.
8 hours. Cabins that we've heard are like cruise ships and restaurants to match.
Join us this week as we find out if this may be the best way to travel to Europe.
We're Rick and Adam, the floating nomads.
Living aboard our narrowboat Serenissima and slow travelling the rest of the world.
Join us on board and abroad. Good morning.
It's an exciting day. It's time to get us back to Europe.
So last night we spent the night in Dovercourt in a hotel that was a 3-minute train journey away from the ferry terminal. We're at the station now in Dovercourt and we can see the ferry over there.
It's pretty big. Yeah, it's quite handy to do this if you are a foot passenger, as there are no hotels actually in the port. But who cares? 3-minute train journey will do us. Point in sitting, really.
No, not really. It's 3 minutes.
Welcome to this service for Learning Tree.
So easy to get here.
It really was, and we've just arrived at a nearly empty ferry terminal. It's very quiet and chilled.
So we got here down to Essex yesterday from Stafford. We went on train from Stafford to London Euston, crossed London, and then got out from London Liverpool Street to Dovercourt last night. And we stayed in a Wetherspoons hotel, which was really reasonable, £69
really
for
comfy
this room.
bed, really comfy bed.
Yeah, so we're fresh and we're ready to go. So I think check-in opens at 7:45, but closes at 8:15. So bear that in mind, just 30 minutes to get on board. So I guess we should really say where we're going.
Yeah, so we are going Harwich to the Hook of Holland, which is a lot of H's in one sentence.
Now, normally when we go to Europe, we would fly initially. Not recently. In recent years, we're trying to slow travel a bit more, or we would obviously get the Eurostar. But we found this ferry line and we thought, yeah, we'll give this a go, especially because they do day crossings as well. So there's going to be 8 hours on this ship just to chill out and enjoy the sea, hopefully.
And we've heard the ship is of such a good standard that it's a bit like a mini cruise, so it'll be like a day at sea on a mini cruise, which I'm quite looking forward to.
So we're thinking sunbathing and reading on sunbed.
Let's hope so. And exactly on time. They've just called us and told us that they are ready. And there's probably 5 people here, that's all.
Minutes have gone by since we were in the other hall, and we've gone through check-in, got our tickets, got our vouchers for our breakfast and lunch, which we've prepaid for. We will let you know about all the pricing later on in the video, and now we are waiting just to board the ship.
You missed one thing, we even got our room keys.
Oh,
so as soon as we get there, we can get straight into the cabin.
Why have we got a room if it's a day crossing? We'll let you know in a bit.
So quiet in here, so chilled, it's good.
And now, exactly on 8 a.m, 15 minutes after check-in, we are ready to board. looks like there were just 6 foot passengers. Just 6, but there are a lot of cars getting on.
So here we are, about to board one of the biggest ferries in the world, with another 5 people as foot passengers. We're on deck 10.
So straight on board and we're going to go straight to our cabin. The really good thing, we got our cabin key as soon as we got into the check-in terminal. So we can just dump our bags and then we'll go wandering before, I'm going to call it sail away. I think that is a cruise ship thing. We'll call it sail away.
Let's hope this is better than the last few ferries we've done.
Yeah.
In the last year we've done 2 ferries in Europe and they have both been really, really bad.
1 star bad. You can see that if you want. This is a bit ridiculous.
I am absolutely stunned.
First of all, so much better than the 2 or 3, I think 3 ferries last year that we did. They were grimy, they stank. We didn't even want to have a shower in those. I shall be taking full advantage of this shower during the day.
Absolutely, it's going to be 35 degrees today. Whether that's going to be the same at sea, doesn't matter though. I've been in the bathroom and it passes the Rick shower test, so I will have a shower in there. I'm happy to do that. The last 3 we've been on, we have not done that. We've just gone, probably be cleaner if I don't have a shower.
And we've noticed there is a fully stocked minibar and there are biscuits and there is a coffee machine and there are no prices on them, so we reckon that comes into the cabin price that we have paid. This isn't a standard cabin, this is a captain's class 2 berth, but we got it for a bargain and we'll tell you why later on.
I absolutely love this massive porthole window. We obviously live on a boat, we have portholes, but this one is huge. I love that. That's going to be so cool when we're out at sea. One thing I always look for is how dirty are the curtains. This blind is spotlessly clean. Happy to touch it. Plug each on either side. I reckon that remote control is for that TV, presumably. TV in a ferry?
Yeah, cabin TV, yes. AC down, although it is cold already, so that's working well. Go on then, what goodies do we have?
These are pods for the coffee machine. Good Italian coffee. We've got a couple of bags of crisps, 2 decent sized little bottles of wine. There is a carton of milk in there, I think that is. No, that's not true. Yeah, there's milk in there. That is water, sparkling water. So still sparkling water, 2 cans of Pepsi, 2 cans of Heineken, and 2 little bottles of white wine as well, which will be coming home with us.
And as well as a coffee machine, you've got a normal kettle and sneaky down there, a little hairdryer. 2 more European plugs and a UK plug there. Does it fit the mini cruise test so far?
This is better than some cabins on cruise ships we've had.
Yeah, and certainly some we've seen on other videos of other YouTubers. Certainly this is better than some other lines that we haven't tried yet. That's all I'll say.
Pleasantly surprised, like I was not expecting it to be anything like this. Because, yeah, we've had some bad experiences.
As foot passengers, we seem to be the first ones to board, and now there's a long queue of motorhomes and cars and trucks getting on board. So whilst it's a bit quiet, let's go and see what it has to offer. Actual key card made of card.
So that's how we are.
Oh yeah.
So look at that cabin there,
Right,
which is this one here.
At the aft.
Yeah, so that's like an owner's suite sort of cabin.
Yeah. Even the inside cabins don't look that bad.
Duty free. Opens at 9, I'll be back there. Look at those massive Mentos. €15.
How do you fit one in your mouth? Huge. as you've just seen on screen, thank you so much to the friends of the Nomads and the Nomads Club members who are getting exclusive content, exclusive B-sides. If you'd like to join them, scan this QR code or click the join button below. Looks to be maybe 3 decks that you can go out on. Little one here, smoking area here, and then up again to what looks like a kind of wraparound deck here, right by the funnel, which is huge. So it doesn't go all the way forward, but it wraps around quite a lot of the aft. Although I can now see that you must be able to get up another 2 decks, but they must be towards the front of the ship. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any deck chairs yet.
There's benches here. I think these are cabins though. That was a bit weird if you've got one of those cabins and you were overlooked. I can see beds.
Oh, they are. Yeah, he's right.
They are.
Restaurant. Taste. Yes. For breakfast.
Since we're on deck 9, we're on deck 9. So it's down there.
As we said before, we have prepaid for breakfast and lunch.
Hand sanitizer.
Always.
Just touch the screen.
So we're going to go to the restaurant now called Taste and hopefully grab that breakfast. I don't know why it came out of my mouth as a large breakfast grill.
Pig.
You just went for a normal one. So it's pre-booked, so you just go to the till, tell them what you want, and then they give you a buzzer.
Go and get cutlery.
Blimey.
This safety announcement. Put it on. Do not bring any luggage. Getting in the way of others. Do not use any.
How are you finding the breakfast?
Excellent. Bacon's good. Sausage is good. Haven't tried those yet. Chose not to go for beans.
That was certainly filling and tasty. Think like what Little Chef used to be like, I reckon. We still have lunch to go, and that we'll see what that brings. Basically, we prepaid for breakfast and lunch, and that turned out to be £56, so £14 for each meal each, which I don't think is bad, especially on a ship. Yeah, stuffed now, and I think it's just about time for that sail away. As I say on every cruise, negate those calories, use the stairs.
We don't normally walk up them that way all this time because there's only one flight.
Yeah, we're going back to the cabin to flump.
Yeah.
For a better word. Time to test the bed.
I don't want to break it, so I'll just flop.
Very elegant.
It's fine. Yeah, I can sleep on that.
You look like Rose from Titanic. So the advantages of having a cabin, we have all our cases for this long trip in Europe, which means we can have as many clothes changes as we want.
I could put my pyjamas on now if I felt like it and just sit and look out the window. I'm looking forward to just sitting here and looking at the sea.
And if the sun does come out, we can put some shorts on. Not that I have found sun chairs or deck chairs yet, but maybe later on. So we're going to just chill out here and then we'll recommence the tour of the ship.
Bye bye UK.
This is like deja vu. I'm waking up for the second time today, after a nap this time, and it's a lot better view than it was this morning from a random Wetherspoons hotel in the middle of Dovercourt. I've got a sea view. It's honestly like we've got a cruise cabin. And I was just saying to Rick, it's got the same sort of feeling as doing a long haul flight. You know, we're here on this ship for 8.5 hours, and that's generally the time, you know, you're on a long haul flight, but there's no way I'd be able to afford one of those really super posh cabins with a double bed on a flight. I know they exist, but no way. But this one, we can afford it, and it's such a game changer, because normally when you get one of these cabins, you are in it for the night time, you don't have a view, but we're just using it as our sanctuary on this sea day, basically. It's great. I think it's time to actually leave the cabin.
It's been nice in there, though.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. I'm in need of some aftershave.
Oh, here we go.
Well, it is my turn.
Your turn.
It is. You got an expensive aftershave less than 6 months ago.
No, that was nearly a year ago. And it's nearly all gone.
Anyway, I think mine was about 18 months ago, and it's nearly all gone. So I'm going to go to the duty free and see what's there. That's what you'd have.
Molten brown black pepper, yeah. Or brown tobacco.
Yeah, so this is my usual one. Well, it's what I got on a Princess cruise over a year ago now on a transatlantic. Elixir Sauvage. 145 euros for 60 mil. Don't think I can justify that right now. You're still on your molten brown.
Sorry, that's a bargain. 45 euros for 100 mils. That's really cheap. But also, I'm just looking at this little tiny one, 33 euros for 3 different flavours.
Only 20 euros for these, but you know they won't last. You put them on and you won't be able to smell them after 5 seconds. As duty-free shops go on ferries, it's quite a big one.
Very
big
good.
Selection. Very big selection. I think I don't just want a 60 mil for that price, so I'm going to reserve my buying for another time.
Should we buy something little to share? So we just bought some little mini ones because they're really good for travelling, and we know we've got quite a lot of travelling to do over the next month.
Yep, we can share 3 different flavours.
Flavours.
Right, time to go out onto deck because the weather has perked up and we are fully at sea. A bit more like it.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
A bit windy now though. I don't think, no, top 2 decks are still not open. That's a shame.
It's really quiet. This ferry, although it's the biggest in the world, it isn't really made for foot passengers. It's a freight ferry. Foot passengers are basically an add-on, so that's why there aren't very many of us. This ferry can hold 300 articulated lorries. 300, and a load of cars as well.
And there are freight areas for the truck drivers to socialise in and eat in as well, which
so
we aren't allowed in.
Nearly half of the deck space on the deck we've just been on, deck 9, is just for truckers. That kind of shows you what that's like.
So although the top 2 decks aren't open, there are 3 kind of mini decks here at the aft that are open, but still no deck chairs. I'm not going to get my usual cruise in the sun time, am I? Never mind. It's nice enough anyway. And I think that just leaves one venue that we haven't shown you, and that's the bar.
It's over the yard arm.
go to is a Campari Spritz. But we've just seen Campari for 7 centilitres is $11.20.
Yeah, that's daft. It's in the shop for about 15 for a whole bottle.
It's going to have to be beer. I fear that this will just be the theme of the whole time we're in the Netherlands.
They do very good beer in the Netherlands. Heineken's from there. Amstel's from there.
But it gets you bloated. Not you. Me.
Rude.
Taste. The restaurant on board has different opening times for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner if you're doing the evening crossing, and the lunch bit, which we also have pre-purchased, finishes at 3:30. So given that we had such a big breakfast, we're leaving as late as possible. So we'll probably go for that about 3:15, and then gives us 2 hours before it docks in the Hook of Holland. Maybe time for one more before lunch.
Just so we can try out the other bar.
Bar crawl. It's not quite the amount of bars on a cruise ship, I have to be honest.
There is an outdoor bar though, but it's closed. Probably opens at night.
So, going now to the social bar. Just going back to what I said about it doesn't have as many bars as a cruise ship. Of course it doesn't. But I thought it would have more than this. I thought there'd be more public areas than there are, to be honest.
But he's forgotten that half of this deck we're on now is for the drivers of the trucks that this ferry was built for. So there are lots of bars, but we're not allowed to go to them because we're not driving a truck. That's why.
I don't think you know that for a fact. There's lots of bars.
It's literally all the way down there.
I think there might be one more.
It's the same size on the other side. You can see, because that's why you can't go there.
The last order's now been taken at the restaurant at lunch, so we have returned to Taste Restaurant.
2 chicken salads.
Just had an announcement that there's just 1 hour to go. I can't believe how fast this crossing has gone. It's just flown by.
It really has.
So time to get back to the cabin and have, hopefully, 1 more hour of just chill out. Hopefully they won't chuck us out before then.
I don't think they will.
We'll see. I mean, granted, it's only been a day cabin, but we still have to do the pack.
We have, and we've made a mess.
Time to go. Inevitably, the call came, and half an hour before we make land, we are asked to leave the cabin. Fair enough, though. Forces us out on deck to see some beautiful views coming into Rotterdam. Easy getting off the ship. We started with about 6 foot passengers and I think we ended with about 8. And just a 2-minute walk now to the local metro station, which will get us into the centre of Rotterdam. Such an easy trip and so relaxed, and here we are at the metro at the port.
So this is really the gateway to Europe. From here, it's a half-an-hour journey to Rotterdam, and from there we can get to Paris, Brussels, Copenhagen, anywhere we want in Europe, basically. And this isn't a new route, so this has been bringing Brits to the continent. Since Victorian times, this crossing, this route is as old as the Dover-Calais one. The Orient Express used to go from here.
It's really made us think why we are constantly doing the Eurostar with those awful packed terminals at St Pancras.
The Eurostar is great. It's really quick. It gets you to Paris really fast. But it's not very nice. The bit in London is not very nice.
Yeah, but this has been brilliant, and we promised you some prices. Here they are.
Our captain's class cabin cost us €280 for this daytime sailing. If you book a night sailing, a cabin is mandatory and is included in the price at €275, but that's just for a standard class. If you did want a captain's class cabin at night, it would cost €400. So, in effect, we had this fantastic captain class cabin with daytime views and free minibar for basically the same price as a standard cabin at night.
Hope you've enjoyed coming with us today. We are certainly looking forward to our times in Europe over the next few weeks.
We will still be in the Netherlands in the next episode, somewhere very, very special. There's nowhere else like it on Earth.
It's not Amsterdam. See you then.
Goodbye.
Bye.